I am done being used by people. Like, I've really had it. I've come to the point in my life where I still want to give, but at the same time, I want to have a choice to give of my own free will. I want to give of myself of my own free will. I'm done with people undervaluing me. I am done with people using me as a financial hub. I'm done with people using me as a doormat. I'm done with people using me as a sounding board or as just a piece of human that can be used only when necessary, only when relevant to them. And if you feel the same way, then watch this video to the end and let me know what you think, or how you have gone through this, or how you have processed it. Just give me some pointers, because I really have had enough. So a few days ago, I got a message from a family member. Okay, this hurts even more because it comes from family members as well, right? I don't really care that much if it's a stranger. I put myself out there for strangers, not expecting anything in return, and that's fine. That's just me. But when you have family, especially, who just do not care for your personhood, who don't take you into consideration, and just think that your only usefulness is to be useful to them. I have given everything that I have. I've given financial aid, I've given support, I've given suggestions, advice, my time to my family over the years, that I have now come to a point where it's just too much for me to handle, too much for just one person to handle in a family of several, members. So I got a message the other day from a niece. Now, I don't really blame my nieces. I have quite a number of nieces. I don't really blame them. They're young, they're trying to find their way in life and all of that. Situation in Nigeria, I'm from Nigeria, the situation in Nigeria financially isn't, very good. So I get it that they have situations, okay, where they need help. And I do my best to help. I try to be equal, because like I said, I've got several of them. So I don't want it to be one-sided, or I don't want it to feel or look like I favor one person over the other. So I try to put myself out there for all of them as much as I can. But this message irked me so much, because it went like this. Hey, Auntie, I know it's been so long. I have been procrastinating. I've been meaning to reach out to you and to tell you how grateful I am for the last time that you showed up for me. But I have been procrastinating. We're talking about months. The last time that she, spoke to me was months ago. But there's always this thing of initially buttering you up so that then they can swoop in. And I don't know. I don't think they do this deliberately, such people. Maybe some of them do it deliberately. They just don't think beyond themselves. But there's this feeling that I get, like they're trying to butter me up so that then they can go in for whatever it is that they need from me, Another example is, several weeks ago, I got a message from someone who I met recently. This person had contacted me many months ago for some little help, and I was very willing to put myself out, and I gave as much help as I could, and then they went ghost. Some weeks later, same thing, they contacted me again, I gave my help, and then they went ghost. And then finally they contacted me a few weeks ago, and it was exactly the same thing. And I thought to myself, like, it gets to me. Unfortunately, I wish it didn't, but it does get to me. I have a friend who tells me all the time, like, you should have low expectations of people. Like, just lower your expectations and you'll be fine. And I've been trying to do that. I've been working on that. And I think so far, so good. But it still gets to me, especially when I have put so much, well, maybe not so much, but I put some of myself into those people, and there is no one that is doing the same back for me. So again, like, it's not that I expect people to do stuff for me when I, put myself out there for them, but in a sense, it just feels nice when someone can just be there for you. Can be there for you spiritually, can be there for you mentally, physically, can be there to give you some support when you need it, you know. And I'm just so done with family members who think that all I am good for is to be there for them. They don't know about my welfare. They don't ask about my welfare. They only do it in passing when they're in the process of asking me for some sort of help. I'm done with that. I'm done with the religion side of things where they try to guilt me, my family members and other people try to guilt me using religion. I'm done with the control that men are trying to wield over me. I'm done with, there's just so many aspects of society that I have to interact with society. I have to contribute to society. I love contributing to society. I love to advance society in whatever little way I can. I support a few charity organizations. I haven't, the one part I would love to give more of it will be my personal time to causes that I believe in. I haven't been able to do that, but I'm hoping to get there. But I have given, other resources. In my work, I make sure, I put myself out there in my job to the point that where I just want my clients to have everything that they need. Okay, so I know what it means and how it feels to actually give, and I don't really expect much in return. But when you have family, the idea, the concept of family is supposed to be that because you share blood, that means that there is unconditional care and love. But unfortunately, I haven't experienced that. Notwithstanding, okay, how I've tried to show them or to express how I feel to them, it doesn't register. It doesn't register. And I can't change them. I've tried. I can't change them. They've chosen their path in life. And that's fine. I have a sibling who I can't trust to take care of family matters. I have several siblings, but there's one in particular that, drives me crazy. I can't trust them. I have, given them all the opportunity in life, in their life to, I don't want to say make it up to me, but at least to show me that they care unconditionally for me. But they, each time, just do what they want to do. And then I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad person for deciding that, okay, now it's time for me, or now I'm just going to be, detached from it all. And there are people who would preach the whole blood is thicker than water and all of that. But I say no to that. I believe now that you actually can choose your own family. You can choose based on people who exhibit the traits that families are supposed to. People who are your community, your cheerleaders, people who can provide you a safe space. I believe that you can choose that now, because that has been my reality. I've had to choose very few people, but these are people that truly make a difference in my life and truly have shown me what it means to be there unconditionally for one another. In Africa, we talk about the family being the village. So the village raises the child. And I think once upon a time it did exist. Once upon a time it was this way, but it is no longer that way. Right now, it is just an adage that is used to enslave you mentally, to guilt you, to force you into giving up certain rights, into giving up yourself for the group, into getting and milking as much as they can out of you. And that's just so wrong. That's just so wrong. People are so self-absorbed now. So when the family was a village, we didn't have society as it is today. We didn't have capitalism. We didn't have everyone hustling and trying to live above their to live above their means. You know, I give to these family members financially, and sometimes when I see photos and videos that they post online, they have better stuff than I do. They throw lavish parties. I didn't have a big wedding. I had a very small wedding. But I was asked to contribute to a family member's wedding. It was huge, it was big, it was lavish, it was loud. I spent so much money. You know? When there was someone that was going through like a mental crisis, they had insomnia, they had depression, I was there encouraging them and, you know, pushing them. I tried to help someone, you know, build a better financial base, you know, giving suggestions, even, you know, proposing, you know, certain financial help, but they didn't want to take it because they didn't want to suffer. They didn't want to sacrifice. But it's okay for Isabella to sacrifice. It's okay. Because she's stupid. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm done. I really hope that I can see this through. I'm going to continue to contribute, but at a distance, without much emotions. And I'm just going to be there for myself and be there for my son, for my husband. They are there for me. Be there for my dad, because he was always there for me. He didn't judge me. These people would judge me. These people would condemn me and say how I was favored, but without looking at the hard work that I was putting into creating the person that I am today. And if you are experiencing something similar, I would like you to know that you are not alone. Like I always say, you're not alone, and that it is okay for you to say no. And that you should only give because you want to, not because you're guilted into. You should only give because it makes you happy, not because someone else's happiness is what you're basing your own happiness on. I have a cousin that gave so much to her sisters that when she finally had a child of her own, they couldn't get it when she said, I have to take care of my son. I have to take care of my child. They said, oh, now you're so selfish. Now you're selfish. Imagine that. So if you want to step back and you want to stop letting people walk all over you and be in control of that aspect of your life that you can, please go for it. Please go for it. We only have one shot at this life, and we can't, unfortunately, make everyone happy. You know, I would be naive if I thought that I could solve everyone's problems. It would be so naive of me. And I would be damned right now if I would let others drag me down with them. So I'm saying no. Now, I still want to give myself. I still want to be there for them. But I feel like it's time for me to now treat them like I would treat most strangers, you know, because they're like strangers to me. They don't know anything about me. I know more about them than they do about me. I give them a crying shoulder when they need it, and when they need one, I'm there for them in crisis. But they don't know about my struggles. They don't know about my crisis, physically, financially, mentally. They don't know, and they don't ask. They don't care. I've been through so much in my life growing up. You know, the only blood relatives that I still consider family are my parents. My mom's late now, so it's just my dad, and my dad has dementia. So I think that was a wake-up call for me when my dad got dementia, because the one person in my family that I could count on wasn't there mentally anymore for me. And I felt that it was a huge chasm inside of me. And no one, it's crazy. I look at other people's families. Like now I have a husband and my son. So that side of my family is great, is filling up the gap, but it's just not the same, you know. They weren't there with me when I grew up, so they don't know about my experiences. They don't know about my struggles, the things that I overcame, right? I can tell them the stories, but they weren't there to experience it with me like other family members were. And so not to have that backup right now, I just feel like I'm fed up. Okay, like everyone can just go and live their lives. You know, I don't want to be ridiculed anymore. I don't want to be seen as a black sheep anymore. Or they can see me in whatever, which way ever they want to. But I'm just really done taking the shit. So if I'm gonna put myself out there for them, if I still want to, like I said earlier, so I would still offer support when I can. But I refuse to sacrifice myself anymore. I will give up the surplus that I have, the surplus energy, the surplus time, the surplus money, but I'm not going to sacrifice myself for them anymore. I'd rather just sacrifice myself for humanity, in a sense, like building a community like I am online here. So, by the way, everyone who commented on my last video, thank you so much for resonating with that video. I truly appreciate you guys. And there were some people who also took something valuable from that video. And I can help in that way. You know, I hope I can. But I don't seem to be able to reach my family. I look at my in-laws. I know that we shouldn't compare ourselves. We shouldn't compare what we have, family, whatever. No two families will ever be the same. But I see them fight. I see them disagree. I see them having different opinions, different ways of lives, but I still see the harmony there. I see them dropping, you know, whatever it is they're doing and come running for each other, to be there for each other. No matter how sometimes they might just go off on each other or say stuff like, oh, this person's full of shit or whatever, you know, but they are there when it matters. And I only had that with my dad. Not with my siblings, not with my aunties, with my cousins. And I've just had enough. So yeah, that is my rant for you guys today. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao. Make sure you subscribe.